Welcome to the show, everyone. I am so excited about bringing on my first guest. I've had her on now several times. I absolutely love my doctor here. I have Dr. Laura Markison, and she is the owner of Mesa Naturopathic. Doctor, before we came on the show today, we were talking a little bit about you, and so you've had a pretty rough go of it for like the last. But you got to talk a little bit about you yourself, a little tiny bit, and then what happened to you, and kind of your experience that you've been dealing. You kind of want to talk to the audience and let them hear firsthand, and this is from a doctor. You know exactly kind of what's going on out there. Go ahead.
First of all, Carol, feelings mutual.
Thank you.
I just think you're the best.
Thank you very
and
much.
I think it's wonderful what you do in helping provide information for businesses and get the word out about all of us here that are on your show.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I'm a licensed family practitioner. I'm in the state of Arizona. I'm a naturopath. I am suffering from a fall from a swimming pool, and I fell and hit the stair on my ribs. I slipped, my feet came out from underneath me, and I landed on my right rib back area.
Oh.
So what would a naturopath do? Well, nobody would, from my injury, go to a naturopath. First of all, they'd go to the emergency room. And that's one of the things I wanted to highlight today, is to talk to people who are out there that have got severe injuries and they're afraid to go to the emergency room, or they're having signs of appendicitis or a gallbladder attack, things that you'd normally go to the emergency room, but now maybe you feel afraid to go to the emergency room. Prior to my fall, I had to go to the emergency, I went to the emergency room once before, a couple weeks, for a back spasm on the same side. And the thought crossed my mind, am I going to be safe in the emergency room? And I went to Dignity Health at Power and McKellips to give them a shout out. They did a great job. I felt that there wasn't anyone in the waiting room. You could make an appointment online, and I got in swiftly. I did not have to wait, and I was put in my own room that had walls and a glass door.
That's nice.
Which is nice. So I felt like things weren't being aerosolized. If there was a COVID patient in there, that I felt safe. I felt like they were doing all the cleaning measures that they should, that a medical practice should, as we do in our office. And I was swiftly taken care of and discharged. Relatives are not allowed to come in, which is fine. If a relative does need help, an employee will go out and help the person in to the emergency room. I was helped out after my rib injury. My emergency room that I went to for my ribs was at Mayo, and that's a bigger hospital, and they were awesome, and they went through all the COVID precautions, and I was seen very swiftly. I was in a same kind of room with walls and a door, and I felt safe. The doctors and everybody had their masks on, and everything felt appropriate and the same that I would do in my own medical office. And I saw the cleaning products were there, and I asked, some COVID patients in here right now with me? And she was like, yes, as a matter of fact. So I felt like they are doing such a great job separating the people apart from each other, and this is 2 weeks after that visit. I'm fine. So I just want to put the word out to anybody who's injured themselves. Don't wait to be seen in the emergency room if you need to go. I'm a naturopath, and I'm a human being, and I was hurt, and I needed to get some help because I thought I had some broken ribs, which I don't. But I also have seen a few orthopedist doctors, and I just want to brag a little bit about the difference between my experience visiting 2 separate orthopedist MDs and what kind of a service you would get in my business if you came in after you were cleared, that you didn't need, a cast or a surgery, that you have just a sprain or, an injury like mine. What would be the next steps, and what are the next steps that I'll be doing for my injury? Because there isn't really a lot to do for ribs anyhow. So that's going to be the focus for the rest of the visit. I think it should be.
And I'm interested to talk a little bit about that with where you're coming from, because here you are a doctor. Doctors are human beings. They have to be seen too. They get sick too. They get hurt, and I can't wait to hear the difference, because I'm sure it's quite different. And especially with someone like you, I also want to talk about you just a little bit, because I've known you now for just a little while, but several times that you've been on. What I've seen you when the first time you came in here, how you were actually couldn't even come on the air practically, because you were like walking a woman that was going through an emergency room, kind of holding her hand while she was actually going.
Yes.
Practically.
Yeah, out in the parking lot. I was ordering somebody to go quickly to the emergency room.
But
she was having appendicitis.
Amazing what you were doing, but your passion for what you do and how you work with people. Let's talk a little bit about. Now, I want to first get this out quickly. You're located in Mesa. Your website is Mesa DR for doctor, so mesadr.com. I'm going to give out this phone number, and people, listen to me. Listen to her talk, and we're going to talk a lot about how you kind of go through and help people even with paying and all that kind of stuff. But the phone number to call direct, it's 480-306-8111. Especially, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, you resonate with someone who cares, someone who has that bedside manner that's unbelievable. A woman, too, give her a call, 480-306-8111. Let's talk to her. She does free consultation. Let's talk to her and find out how she can help you if you're dealing with something. So let's talk about that too. We're live on Facebook, so everybody out there that's listening too, all this information that you get here, please, if you're here, you think it's for someone else, maybe it's not you, but it's someone else, tell them about it. That's what I love about my show. Go ahead.
So, and I'm not disrespecting the value and the education and the experience orthopedist, surgeon. I went to a spine surgeon today, because there isn't really a doctor who will see somebody with injured ribs. That was the other interesting thing that I found. He just was looking to see if I needed surgery. And he was like, kind of like, why are you here? You don't need surgery. And I was like, I want a diagnosis. Okay, so my scans are showing that I have a break, but what's wrong with me? And I never got a straight answer, but I did get a good referral to sports physiotherapists who may be able to help me get a better diagnosis, because I do have rib pain.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to be doing in the office for my injury, now that we know that it's not a break, that just we're going to have to give it time, that it's bruising and muscle strains, sprains, is I have my dial wave laser. And that, we don't even have to touch my skin, because that would hurt, right? If you have a sprain or strain, you don't want somebody pressing on you or doing massage or anything like that yet. So we're going to start working with my laser. They're 10-minute sessions. I do offer packages of those. It will speed up the healing. Once that I feel comfortable that the healing, and I get a better diagnosis of exactly where I would want to inject my stem cells and my maybe some PRP or some prolotherapy, that's what we'll be doing next.
Well, I mean, and I think what you want to hear more about is that laser that you can actually put on. You don't even touch the skin. And I love the way that you are so compassionate, even about your own self, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to be touched and probed and probbed when there's something in there that's hurting, that's bruised, it's even though it's deep down inside, you can feel it, right? The minute someone
Right.
touches you. I love that. Her phone number to call is 480-306-8111, mesadr.com. Hang tight, we're going to be back in just a minute. So I'm going to let you keep on talking, and I think it's awesome. I hope you're going okay with what we're doing here in terms of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to just turn me up a little bit on that side too. You can go a little bit further than that. That's good.
Which ribs did you break, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, rib 10.
I broke, remember when I was in my coma? I broke 6 through 12.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and one of those ribs punctured my
Wow, that's a flail. It's a flail.
Yeah, but I understand
Did
where
they
you're
do
coming
surgery?
from. They did do
Yeah, because they
surgery.
have to reattach all those because it's called a flail injury. And
It's so much pain.
wow.
I can remember it. I feel for you.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing you can do.
It's awful.
Yeah, good luck. Just hang in
Thanks.
there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are things that I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my tools that I've been trained to use as a naturopathic doctor, and that's good nutrition, stretching, doing the hot and cold packs. I've been taking some soaks in Epsom salts because I've been actually able to finally get into the bathtub, and it's just so soothing. And then ice pack for 10-15 minutes afterwards. So the heat brings up the toxins from the injury, and then the ice then afterwards for 10 to 20 minutes pushes those toxins back out into your blood,
Oh, so
and then
they
your
come
blood will
out.
clean it.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And that's the importance of hydrotherapy. The other thing is the laser. I just love our dial wave laser. It really does. There's great research on how fast it can quickly help heal tissue. And I am in the United States of America, and I want everything to be healed and go fast. I'm impatient.
Right.
I don't want to have a lot of downtime.
Right. Right.
And
I'm going to mention that when we come back.
yeah,
to
I
say
just, I just want to get back and playing tennis. I have a tennis team that needs me to play tennis. Our league is starting.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say, when we do our NAS moment, you can make it as narrow like that if you want. Like, just when you have them, when you look at what we're doing, you'll say you can use them in just their little 2 to 3 minute videos that you can actually pinpoint like that. And even if you want to, you can put them on your email. So when it opens up, it's kind of interesting that you can use it for that too.
That's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. They're really
Very
cool.
cool.
I'm really excited about them.
Yeah, so that's that. I'm just doing free consultations for pain.
Okay.
Because we have to see MRIs and see if we can even help somebody before we even charge them for a visit.
But also, we want to use some room for the filling part of it, okay?
Yeah.
I wrote that down. I
Okay.
just want to make sure that we do bring that up.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Okay.
Welcome back. We're talking with Dr. Laura Markison. She is the owner of Mesa Naturopathic. We have been talking during the break, and just like we said before, she's a doctor, she's a human being. She also said, I'm an American, I want things to go fast, I want to feel better, I want to get back on my tennis game. The tennis game needs me, she said.
I'm
Our
in a
league
league.
is starting.
The league's starting. I want to get better.
back
fast,
to normalcy,
right?
and interesting that the board operator here, and I've known him for 13 years practically. I had no idea that had happened to him, and he came in and he goes, "Wow, I really feel for you," because he had something bad happen to him too. And people are in pain, and one thing I'm gonna say too is a lot of people out there. Man, we are not rushing to do anything because we're afraid to death to get out there. But
Right.
also what I like is the way you're kind of comparing sort of when you've gone to, not to put anyone down, the difference between another doctor as opposed to what you would do in your office.
You know, you gotta explore your options is what I would say. I went to these professional orthopedists because they are who they are, and if they saw anything severe, then they would take action. Because I've had other orthopedic injuries where I've been absolutely taken care of. I had a torn labrum, and that got taken care of beautifully. I'm just kind of being frustrated with how I felt I wasn't listened to. But at the same time, I guess I just didn't get the answer I wanted to. I just want somebody to tell me what's wrong with me, and sometimes nobody can see what's going on in the body perfectly, especially with ribs and some back injuries, because it's more tissue than the bone. With that, I had a woman come in for a free consultation. We usually do free consultations, especially for our pain patients, because we'd like to see their MRI reports or their imaging reports first to see if we can even help. Because sometimes, like this woman who came in, she probably needs a partial knee replacement, maybe total, and there isn't an injection in the world that can help somebody who is bone on bone per se. So I sent her out for a second opinion. She went to one, and they were kind of, not clear. And I sent her to a really good knee orthopedic surgeon who will be very clear with her, because he was very clear with me, that I could wait and I did not need a knee replacement at all, and injections would be a good option for me. So that's the kind of doctor that I'm at, that we are. Dr. Hayes is with me also. We did not charge for that, and we spent about a half an hour with this patient. Because my goal is to help people feel better. I do have bills to pay, but when it comes to pain injections, you are going to be paying around $400 to $500. So I want to make sure you're getting the most for your money. And with that said, office visits with a naturopath are cash pay, but the way that I bill it so that you can turn it into your insurance and see if they'll cover it, especially if it's telemedicine. We have been told by our board that our telemedicine visits should be covered by your insurance. So I know how to bill that, and you leave with a bill, super bill it's called, and you just send that into your insurance.
So even though you're paying it out in
Right.
the beginning, you're getting it back.
Right, and I found out from a friend of mine that she just found out that her insurance does cover naturopathic medicine. So things are changing in the naturopathic community as far as insurances and medical coverage, and really, really excited about that, especially here in Arizona. Arizona is the top state for
Absolutely.
supporting naturopathic
And
medicine.
I know why, because we're kind of a natural type of a state. I don't know what it is. I've always kind of thought that about
Uh-huh.
here. They've always been up and coming with that area. Your phone number for them to call, it's 480-306-8111. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. Do not put this off. If you're dealing with pain, they want to talk to you. They want to make sure, can they help you, what you need, give you a diagnosis. Everyone hates it when they say, well, you don't have a broken rib, so we really don't know what it is. Maybe you just have a bruise, but you know somewhere in there, you feel your body, you know that it's something more than that.
People trust your bodies. Your body is talking to you and telling you there's something going on. And my skill, I feel, is that I'm a detective. When it comes to getting to the root of the cause, it's my goal, and that's what we're taught as naturopaths. And I don't know if all naturopaths really get it, but I do, and so does my colleague, Dr. Hayes. We really don't want you coming back. We really do want to get you back to wellness, so that and not pump you full of a bunch of supplements and hike prices and charge you for every visit. For example, we had a COVID positive patient who has needed to have, after the diagnosis, rapid tests done weekly to clear him to be able to go back to work. And he has been showing IgM antibodies, which is the current infection antibodies, for 1 month, which is unusual. He's about 60 years old, and he had clear lungs, and all of a sudden, this past week, his lungs started having lung sounds. So I put him on antibiotic, and had him come back this week, and I didn't charge him to come back this week to listen to his lungs. So I'm not that kind of doctor that every single visit you're going to get charged. If it's a quick checkup like that, because it's for my curiosity, but also, do we need a chest x-ray? And we did end up doing that. So with COVID, if you have been positive and you're getting through it okay, please monitor yourself, because we've been, my husband has an employee who all of a sudden has pneumonia a month out and was okay and was
Right, I've
doing
heard that
okay.
it's doing
So
that.
you've got to rest, you have to take care of yourself even though you have mild symptoms. I will check you out and take care of you where maybe other doctors won't.
Is it okay with you if I bring up something about you? She doesn't
Sure.
know what I'm going to say. So, I know that you also have in your office, it's a full service office, so that if they need anything,
Yes.
you have you have right there where you can get natural, but the top of the line of your products, of the supplements
Yes.
and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
So you had come on the show, and it was so nice of you that you had given me a little packet, a little care packet. It was before, or I think COVID was just coming up, and you gave me some things. And of course, as your recommendation, I took them. And then it came to the point where that I needed more. And you had come on the show, and I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get some more of that because I had ran out. And you set me up right online. I loved it. And
Yes,
I've
it's a
never
full
seen
script,
it done.
full script supplements sponsored by Natural Partners, whereas practitioners, we can send prescriptions of supplements and streamline them with doses and how many you need to take, and even write you a note and instructions of the whole thing. I just think it's wonderful. And then did you have to pay shipping?
I don't even remember.
I don't think
It
you
doesn't
had to
matter.
pay
It was
shipping.
it was so
really-
little
they
anyway, and
offer
I was
free
so
shipping.
pleased.
Yeah.
I was so pleased about the whole service and the
Good.
way that you did that for and I know that's not just for me. I know that's how you work with your clients,
absolutely.
your patients. I
Yeah,
should
and
say.
we do shipping out of our office too for our established patients who just do not want to come into a medical office, and I do telemedicine. I do blood draws out of my own office. You don't have to go to
I love that too.
a lab per se and be exposed maybe to some other people who may have
And the
COVID.
inconvenience of it
Right.
too,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, I want to talk about how you your products that you have they're products that are high. They're very high.
They're called nutraceuticals, so
Mhm.
they are not to be sold on Amazon. Even though some of them do show up there, and that's illegal. They're high quality. They're
Right, and let me say this, you guys: you can't
Prescription
go to
only.
Target.
prescription only.
If you really want to cover
doctor can
yourself
order.
about this, go and get something that's
Or
prescription
Costco,
grade.
right?
Don't do that. And I go
I
up
get
and
it,
call
though.
her, talk to her, and especially if you're dealing with pain, she wants to talk to you. What would be today your final words?
Look, if you're not feeling well, or if you've had an accident, you've fallen, and you feel afraid to go to the emergency room, don't be afraid. They're handling it just fine. Our hospitals around the city here, Mesa and all other towns, are doing a fantastic job with keeping you safe. Please go in and get yourselves checked, even at your PCP and your doctors. Don't wait.
And do not think about not going to a naturopathic. Let me say something to you. They're the best. Awesome.
We take our time.
They number one, they take their time with you. She's going to work with you. She knows how to bill it so that you might pay it out of pocket first, but then you get that money back. And boy, is it wonderful to experience what it's like to go somebody who's taking their time with you, listening to you,
Right.
and making sure that you're getting the best quality care that you can possibly get. I see it from her all the time. Every time
Thanks,
I come in
Carol.
here, she's got something going on with that. And she will help you if you need a consultation and you're in pain. She wants to talk to you. She wants to help you. She's in pain herself. So she knows how you're feeling. She
Oh.
feels for you. That number to call her direct, it's 480-306. 8111, the website. And by the way, I love your website too. I love all of the information that's on there. You want to know about COVID, you want to know about statistics, you want to know about stuff about pain, that's the place to go. It's mesadr.com.
Thanks, Carol.